Delivering value faithfully, exploring great books worldwide. Hi, this is Sally's Book Club. Today we're exploring the book Tiny Habits. With about 60,000 words, we'll unpack its core ideas in 20 minutes. I'll guide you through effortless habit formation strategies from the book. Stephen Grease isn't a celebrity or academic, just an ordinary guy like many of us. He struggled with failed habit attempts until discovering a breakthrough method. Stephen realized failure wasn't about effort, but about flawed strategies. After extensive trials, he developed the Tiny Habit system with remarkable results. He transformed physically, increased reading tenfold, and became a top productivity blogger. Stephen identified two common obstacles in habit formation we all face. First obstacle, struggling to take initial action despite good intentions. That familiar urge to collapse on the couch after work, making yourself exercise instead feels overwhelming. Second obstacle, difficulty maintaining consistency after starting. The book's subtitle reveals its approach, too small to fail. Today, we'll explore three key aspects of the Tiny Habits method. What exactly are tiny habits? Why they work effectively? And practical implementation strategies. By the end, you'll feel empowered in habit formation. Let's begin with our first section. What are tiny habits? Tiny habits are exactly what they sound like, minuscule routines. But how small is tiny exactly? Try touching your nose with your hand right now. Effortless, right? Creating a tiny habit should feel as easy as that nose touch. Too simple to refuse. Stephen's journey began with what he calls the golden push-up during New Year's. It was late 2012, when people typically reflect on yearly progress. Stephen found himself unchanged. Sitting on his couch, he realized another year had passed without personal growth. Determined to change, he vowed to start 30-minute daily workouts come New Year. But his ambitious plan quickly crumbled like climbing Everest without training. He tried motivational music and beach body fantasies. Nothing worked. Then came his breakthrough thought. What if I just do one push-up? You might think. What's the point of one push-up? Real exercise requires sweat and effort, right? Stephen initially agreed, but desperate times called for tiny measures. He did that single push-up, and it unexpectedly changed everything. Once started, he thought, my muscles are warm. Why not do more? He added pull-ups and crumbles, tiny goals leading to big results. Each micro-challenge tricked him into exceeding expectations. That single push-up snowballed into full 30-minute workouts. Even Stephen was amazed by this psychological hack. The next day, he wrote the One Push-Up Challenge article. This became his most popular blog post ever. For a whole year, he maintained this single daily push-up routine. One night he remembered in bed, rolled over and did it right there. That last-minute success created powerful positive reinforcement. Two key realizations: physically stronger despite minimal effort. Second discovery, routine became automatic over time. Within 6 months, he graduated to gym workouts. Eventually addicted. Applied this method to reading and writing with micro goals. 50 daily words and one-page reading snowballed into professional writing. Ended up writing 2,000 words daily and reading books every 3 days. These achievements were unimaginable before. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Daily micro-actions create compound effects. That's the power. That concludes our first section. Through Stephen's story, we've defined tiny habits, the core. Start absurdly small, consistently overachieve. If traditional methods failed you, try this strategic shift. Gradual progress might be your breakthrough path. Now you might wonder, why does this actually work? Let's explore the science behind tiny habits' effectiveness. First, we need to understand habit formation mechanisms. A Duke University study shows 45% of our daily actions stem from habits. We all know habits are behaviors we repeat daily. Over time, these repetitions can bring tremendous benefits or equally destructive consequences. If two words could change your life, they would be habits. 20 minutes of daily exercise transforms your physique. Choosing healthier foods extends lifespan. Consistent financial planning leads to wealth freedom. Habits shape our lives through gradual repetition, not instant acquisition. This makes habit formation methodology crucial. Traditional approaches, motivational pep talks, what we call chicken soup strategy. The second approach, grinding through sheer willpower. Example, I'll become a voracious reader. Typical motivation strategy, willpower strategy, I must endure hardship to excel mentality. Why do these methods pale compared to tiny habits? Let's break them down. First, the motivation strategy. The author argues motivation tactics work occasionally but fail long term. First flaw, motivation fluctuates unpredictably. Motivation is emotional, easily swayed by external factors. Workplace arguments can drain your enthusiasm. Low blood sugar from hunger impairs decision making. When exhausted or ill, no inspirational quotes help. Worse yet, you need overwhelming motivation to act. Your workout drive must outweigh couch potato inertia. That most days we'd rather stay in bed scrolling our phones. Beyond this, motivation strategy has fundamental flaws. Second reason, the law of diminishing returns applies. What's diminishing marginal utility? Imagine giving a starving person their first steamed bun, pure bliss. The fourth bun brings satisfaction, not ecstasy. Repeated actions gradually lose their emotional payoff. This explains why New Year resolutions often failed by February. Declining returns make consistency increasingly difficult. These are motivation strategies' two critical weaknesses. What about willpower? Doesn't success require superhuman grit? We mistakenly view willpower as permanent character trait. Some believe certain people have limitless willpower reserves. Modern research reveals willpower operates like finite muscle energy. Multiple factors drain willpower: effort intensity, task difficulty, mood fluctuations. Stanford's experiment, kids rewarded with carrots versus chocolate. Carrot group showed less persistence and problem-solving willingness. Why this difference occurred? Carrot kids expended willpower resisting chocolate temptation. This mental struggle depleted their cognitive reserves. Willpower, while more reliable than motivation, remains exhaustible. Why can't average willpower sustain habit formation? Our stable brains require prolonged repetition to form neural pathways. The popular 21-day habit formation myth, it lacks scientific backing. The research shows habits take 18 to 254 days to form, averaging 66 days. Habit formation is a marathon, not a sprint. Motivation fluctuates, willpower depletes, both unreliable. Tiny habit strategy uniquely survives this endurance test. It's magic. Low activation cost with built-in flexibility, minimal willpower expenditure with optional overachievement. It bypasses diminishing returns through microscopic scaling. Perceived difficulty stays near zero. No pre-action resistance. The ultimate psychological hack. Grand plans make progress feel insignificant. Tiny habits preserve willpower while generating success momentum. Success identity drives success behavior. A virtuous cycle. Skip motivation, pep talks, and willpower battles. Think microscopic. Some examples: 30 words daily instead of 30,000. 2-line journal entries. That concludes why tiny habits work. Minimal willpower drain, ultra-low perceived difficulty, microscopic targets. No startup anxiety, effortless consistency becomes natural. This failure-proof method might sound too good, but wait. Ready for practical implementation steps? Part 3. Building Tiny Habits. 8-step blueprint. Step 1. Choose specific behaviors and daily microplans, like Stephen's push-up or 50 words daily. Start absurdly small. Crucial warning. Limit to 3 habits maximum. Cognitive overload guarantees failure otherwise. Stephen's trio: fitness, writing, reading. Stress test your habit. Could I do this on my worst day? All-day meetings, bedridden sick days. Still doable? If uncertain between options, always pick smaller. Step 2. Uncover each habit's core value. Ask, what true benefit does this bring me? Why write daily? Connect with others? Achieve mastery? Why exercise? Health, confidence, longevity? Stephen's writing why. Building meaningful connections. Is morning routine why? Emulating successful patterns. Motivation source matters less than clarity of purpose. External pressure or internal drive, both valid. Key, forge emotional connection to your why. This becomes your psychological anchor during low days. Step 2 complete. Now on to step 3. Step 3, schedule your tiny habits. Choose fixed times, morning workouts or post-work sessions. Consistent timing creates ritualistic reinforcement. Pro tip, complete habits early for maximum flexibility. Stephen originally scheduled push-ups before bed, kept forgetting. Switching to pre-lunchtime boosted consistency and expansion. Moving to step 4. Step 4, create reward mechanisms. Our brains constantly ask, what's in it for me? No reward? The brain becomes stubborn resistance. Design instant gratification into your tiny actions. Stephen's natural reward, post-workout endorphin rush. His writing reward, watching funny cat videos after 50 words. Positive reinforcement cements habit loops. Step 5, track progress physically. Handwriting goals amplifies mental commitment versus digital. Simple method, visible calendar with daily check marks. Like the late night host developing joke writing discipline. His calendar marks became comedic muscle memory. Visible tracking equals tangible progress evidence. Step 6, start micro, aim macro. Minimum targets build consistency. Overachieving accelerates growth. Micro wins create macro impact to compound growth. For most, tiny habits are sparks that ignite lasting transformations. If your micro goal is 50 words daily, consistently overachieve to build momentum. Tiny habits set your minimum, never limit your maximum. Step 7, eliminate performance pressure. Movie's pitfall, over optimism about capacity growth. You might think, just one push up? I can do 10. Resist the urge to officially increase baseline targets. Keep minimums microscopic. Let overachievement be organic. Gradually add optional extras beyond your micro commitment. Month 1, plus 10 push-ups. Month 2, plus 15 minus let capacity build naturally. Prioritize infinite persistence over temporary intensity. Habit formation values consistency above heroic efforts. Final step, recognize habit formation signals. You'll notice subtle psychological shifts over time. Key signal, identity transformation occurs. From I write daily to I am a writer, that's the shift. So from must read to am a reader, identity integration. Autopilot activation, no more mental negotiations. Exercise time simply becomes part of your daily rhythm. Banishing anxiety about consistency, you just know you'll continue. True habit formation brings unshakable behavioral certainty. When these internal shifts occur, your tiny habit has become self-sustaining. That concludes today's exploration. We've reviewed Tiny Habits, a guide to effortless behavior change. Part 1 defined tiny habits, ridiculously small actions with compounding impact. Part 2 compared flawed motivation and willpower approaches versus tiny habits reliability. Micro actions create macro results through consistency. Part 3 detailed the 8-step implementation blueprint. 1. Strategic behavior selection. 2. Discovering core motivations. Ritualistic scheduling. 4. Reward engineering. 5. Physical progress tracking. 6. Minimum baseline with optional expansion. 7. Resisting goal inflation. 8. Recognizing habit formation signals. The core truth. Start small. Let momentum build naturally. Automatic behaviors become your success scaffolding. This concludes our book journey. Find show notes below. Until next time, keep growing.